Hey everyone, welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I'm your host, Che Dorena. We've all heard a bunch of tall tales that have been blown out of proportion, like maybe Bigfoot's real, or Loch Ness, or maybe your parents actually love each other. But sometimes these myths turn out to be true, like Bigfoot. Not like your parents actually loving each other, it's not true. So today I've put together a list of the top 10 scary myths that turned out to be true. Make sure you stick around for the whole video because I want you guys to write in the comments which ones you knew were real and which ones were a surprise to you. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Also, make sure you follow Most Amazing Top 10 on Facebook and Instagram. It's a great way to get to know myself and the other hosts just a little bit better. And without taking any longer, let's get into this list. Number 10, the coffin bell. The story of a ringing bell coming from a buried coffin because the person is still inside. Who rings a bell? You're supposed to kung fu punch your way out like Kill Bill Volume 2. But this is something that actually used to happen. Back in the day when doctors weren't as good as telling if a man was dead or alive, they would tie a string to the hand of the person who was being buried that was connected to a bell. Being a doctor back then would have been so easy. You just poured whiskey on an open wound and then you told the person to smoke opium. But the string was tied to the person's hand just in case they weren't dead. They could pull the string and notify the people that maybe they shouldn't bury this person. I would love to sleep so good that everyone thought I was dead. Also, could you imagine you just finished filling up a hole after digging a hole and then you hear that little bell ring? I would be like, hey, I'm on my lunch break, that's not my problem. Number 9. Stinky. You never know what has happened in a hotel room before you've been in there. The person who stayed in there before you could have been super clean, or maybe they farted on all the pillows. You really have no idea. Well, this one was a little bit of a shock for a couple, probably just trying to have a good time. The old legend goes that a couple stayed in a hotel room and there was a terrible smell. They called the staff to come check it out. After some solid inspection, they decide to move the mattress and they find a dead body. Yum! This is completely true, you can look it up. I know you'll find something because this has happened more than once. Actually, world famous serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer used to commit a lot of murders in hotel rooms. Traveling is so fun. You can stay in a hotel and sleep on a bed that maybe someone was killed on, or you can stay in an Airbnb and then you maybe stay with the actual killer. So exciting. Number 8, hayride surprise. Halloween hayrides are some really small town stuff. Dress up your farm to make it look all spooky and scare some kids so they run and fall in manure. That's old school fun. Well, some of these haunted hayrides have legends of hanging kids appearing out of nowhere, and on a couple of them this has actually happened. Teens have set themselves up to look like hanging bodies to spook people and then have accidentally killed themselves. The people who were going around on the hayride had no idea they were actually looking at dead bodies. This has happened all over the United States. I'm gonna stick to going to Halloween house parties where people are only dead on the inside. Number 7, film crew mix-up. There's a bunch of myths about the film industry. It's all part of the Illuminati and they use movies to send subliminal messages into our minds. The Tom Cruise is actually an alien in human skin, and that's why he preaches a religion about outer space people. And sometimes props aren't actually props, but real, like dead bodies. Well, that last one actually happened. Well, they all might be happening, I just don't have the proof to prove the other ones. But in 1976, a film crew was working on the TV show $6 Million Man. It's so funny how back in the 70s, $6 million made you a bionic hero. Now it just gets you a cool condo in Manhattan. Well, one of these people on set went to move a prop body and one of the limbs fell off. He then saw that this wasn't a prop but a real body. You think the smell would give it away. Weirdly, the body was of a train robber named Elmer Curdy who died in the early 1900s. I guess reuse, reduce, recycle. Number 6, going down. Elevator myths are great. People get so freaked out by them. I mean, it's for good reason. You're stuck in a box with a bunch of people suspended in the air. If anything goes wrong, you're all dead, and sometimes I'll fart in them. You don't want to fart in it with like other people in there because then they'll know it's you. You want to fart in it by yourself so the next person who walks in gets blasted. That's pro level elevator farting. Well, some myths about these death traps are about people getting cut in half, and that has actually happened. In 2003, a man by the name of Dr. Hitoshi Hikito was strolling into an elevator in Houston, Texas. The door malfunctioned and closed on his body. The elevator then started to move and then chopped his head off. Now's a perfect time to say always take the stairs. It's better for you in more ways than one. Number 5. The Green Man. If you're from Pittsburgh, you probably know the story of the Green Man, or Charlie No Face, a zombie that would walk around late at night snatching kids up to eat them. It's a classic urban legend of the area. Although the story of a zombie walking around eating kids isn't true, it comes from a real person. Charlie No Face was actually Raymond Robinson, and when Ray was 9, his face was melted off by an electrical accident. It was around 1200 volts that went through his body and left his face disfigured. In order to not scare people, he would only leave his house at night. Unfortunately, this kind of did the opposite. When people would see him wandering around at night, it would scare the hell out of them, and that's how the urban legend began. The poor dude was just trying to not bother anyone, and now everyone calls him rude names. Shame on all of you. Number 4. Toxic Lady. The myth of someone coming into a hospital with some unknown sickness and it starts to spread and infect everyone around them.
On day 1, there were 2 people, and then 4, and then 16. In 3 months, it's 1 billion. That's where we're headed.
This is basically every zombie movie ever, but a version of this actually kinda happened. A woman by the name of Gloria Ramirez was rushed to the hospital for cancer treatment in 1994. Many doctors tried to help her, but everyone who did kept encountering the same thing, a horrible smell coming off of her body. The smell was so bad that doctors and nurses started to faint, and few of them needed medical treatment. There were also unexplained things happening to her body, like black oil that seemed to come through her skin, and there were particles in her blood that no one could identify. Sadly, Gloria died before doctors could figure out what was wrong with her. So some lady came to a hospital with a super virus, it wasn't cured, and that's the end of the story. Have fun sleeping. Number 3. Bugs in your head. Some bugs have it in their name, like earwigs. There's countless urban legends about bugs laying eggs in people's bodies, spiders in your tummy, all sorts of stuff like that. But none of those stories could be real, right? The only thing hiding under my skin is a crabby personality. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to start sleeping with earplugs because that actually happens a lot. Specifically, it happened to Rochelle Harris in 2013. She took a trip down to Peru, probably to drink ayahuasca and trip out in the jungle while she shat her pants. And when she came home, she started getting really bad headaches. These headaches were followed by a scratching noise that she thought was coming from inside her head. She wasn't going crazy, but a screwworm fly had laid eggs in her ears, and now maggots were dancing around up in there. And if that wasn't enough, this has happened with a lot of different bugs, like cockroaches and spiders. 2 different people. It didn't happen to Rochelle again. Number 2. Organ thieves. You get too drunk in a bar in Thailand, you meet a nice lady, and next thing you know you wake up in a bathtub full of ice and one of your kidneys is gone? This urban legend is thrown together to scare tourists. But here's the thing, illegal organ trafficking is 100% real. You don't need to worry about it if you're some drunk backpacker though. I mean, you might still get your organs stolen, but chances are they don't want you because your body has been beaten up by too much booze. Meaning your insides are basically worthless. Who this actually happens to is children. Yeah, a Mexican cartel got busted for trafficking child organs. I guess because they're fresher or something? I mean, good news for me, but also one of the most horrible things I've ever heard. To think there's people out there who make a living off of stealing the hearts out of kids, and not how the Jonas Brothers did it. Number 1. The water is off. There's always been a myth about moving into a new home and there's something wrong with the water. It comes out like a funny color or it has a weird smell. If that ever happens to your pee, please go see your doctor immediately. Then they look in the water tank and there's a dead body. Whoa. Well, in 2013 this actually happened. It was in the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. Yay, more fun traveling stories. People at the hotel kept reporting to the front desk that the water was coming out a strange color and had a weird smell. It took the hotel a week before they went to check out why this was happening. When they did, they found the body of Alicia Lamb floating dead in there. I know bottled water isn't good for you, but I think I'm going to stick to that and avoid the tap water at the next hotel I go to. Alright everyone, that is our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Remember to write in the comments and let me know what you thought about the video. And always like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Also, follow Most Amazing Top 10 on Facebook and Instagram. It's a great way to get to know myself and the other hosts just a little bit better. Until next time, I've been Chaydarena, and I'm going to, I don't know, book a flight or something. Bye.